This is Abnormal Entertainment.
Welcome, everybody, to the Cinema Head Cheese Podshort for a Futile and Stupid Gesture. This is Kevin Moyers, and this is the second movie in a couple years to come out about the National Lampoon. There was a documentary called Drunk, Stoned, Brilliant, Dead that I really loved and had a lot of detail. I did a Podshort on that at the time. Or a review, one or the other. But I did review it for the site. And I'd heard about this movie a little bit. I didn't really know what the deal was. The one thing I'd heard was that Joel McHale was going to play Chevy Chase. Of course, you know, that's kind of interesting because they were both on Community together. And nobody really from that cast had many nice things to say about Chevy Chase. Joel McHale has talked shit about him quite a bit. But he did play Chevy respectfully. Now, if you don't know the story of the National Lampoon, two guys that went to Harvard together, Doug Kenny and Henry Beard, wrote for the Lampoon in Harvard, and they licensed the name and made it a national magazine from there. So we start out with Martin Mull narrating as he is Doug Kenny today. And that is interesting, having Martin Mull do that. If you saw the documentary, you'll know why. But he's just really narrating what happened and how it got to be what it got to be. Will Forte plays the college to later 20s Doug Kenny. Then there's a funny bit in that it's in the trailer for the movie where they're showing the recording studio for their radio show that they did, the National Lampoon radio show. And it shows all these people that came through the Lampoon, which includes Chevy Chase and Bill Murray, John Belushi, Harold Ramis, Gilda Radner, Christopher Guest. And this scene is in the trailer, so not really a spoiler, but they show, you know, Seth Green as Christopher Guest, and it pops Christopher Guest, you know. And it shows John Daly, the comedian, not the golfer, as Bill Murray, and it pops up Bill Murray, you know, and so on and so on. And it's funny because Martin Mull's walking, and he's like, look, I know these guys don't exactly look like the people they're portraying, but do you really think Will Forte looks like a 27-year-old me? In fact, do you think Will Forte looks 27 and Forte kind of looks up at the camera? And he's 47, so you know. So yeah, 20-year difference, but whatever. It's not meant to be that accurate when it comes to the actors. They're playing the characters. They resemble the people they're playing. And it really does show Doug Kenny as he went through life. It's more focused on him than on Henry Beard or anybody else in the movie. But you do get a lot of people, Tom Lennon, Natasha Lyonne. I'm trying to think. You just see a lot of well-known people pop up through this thing, playing some other well-known people, lesser known, so on and so forth. So, like Tom Kenny is Michael O'Donoghue, who you would know if you've seen early Saturday Night Live, and he came from a Lampoon. And it shows Kenny building this thing with Beard. People from the Lampoon getting snatched up by Saturday Night Live. When the Lampoon had been offered a show, them deciding to start doing radio and building all of that. And that's a lot where Christopher Guest comes in. It's really a fun and interesting way to portray the story. It does take you through the ups and downs in Kenny's life, drug use, cheating on his wife. I mean, total womanizer. Used his fame, you could say, to do that. But he did get things started like the movies. They got Animal House done because of that. They got Caddyshack done, and it was kind of a flop at the time. I mean, he didn't know it was going to become this cult classic movie, but it worked out that way. And a lot of people dump on part 2. Not so bad. It's okay. There's still a thing like Dan Aykroyd still cracks me up in that movie. Mrs. Esterhouse. It's dumb, and I saw it when I was a kid, so maybe that's why it was entertaining. But it is really interesting to go through all of Kenny's problems, his drug addiction, so on and so forth. Seeing the different writers, people like Tony Hendra, who's famous for not only his important role in This Is Spinal Tap, but he co-wrote George Carlin's Last Words autobiography. So I won't say co-wrote as much as helped put it together, because Carlin, it says in the book, in Hendra's foreword, that Carlin came to him through age 6 was over 1,000 pages. So he helped him trim that down and kind of get things into a reasonable manner. But it's a fun movie, and if you've seen the documentary, it's fun to see it portrayed this way. The big thing I'm not going to talk about, but if you've seen the doc, you know what that is. But I like the different versions you see of Kenny. You do see him as a little kid, of course, Forte and Martin Mull, so different stages of life. But I thought it was really fun, really interesting, and really well done. Seeing how he, his marriage was crazy, his friendships were crazy, his drug use was crazy. I mean, he did a ton of writing for the magazine, things like that, and was the driving force for a long time. But it just didn't work out. It didn't work out that well for him. I mean, obviously National Lampoon is not a magazine any longer. You still get National Lampoon straight-to-video movies, which is kind of the quality. If you look at Animal House now, it's not that great. Caddyshack's a better movie of the two. But, it's just mostly propelled by Kenny. So, it's an interesting watch. But I do recommend it. Futile and, hang on, brain damage right now. I kept screwing up this title. A Futile and Stupid Gesture. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. And it's worth watching. It's worth your time. It's fun. It's not as dry as... I mean, the documentary was fun too, but it doesn't have that dry kind of feel to it like a documentary does. So check it out. It's definitely worth your time. No, it's just to see the people as other people. The famous people portraying other famous people. So it's pretty fun. Anyhow, do appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget abnormalentertainment.com for all of the podcasts on our network. cinemaheadcheese.com for all of the reviews and the Head Cheese podcasts. And if you go to bunny17media.com, you can purchase any book or ebook there and get 15% off. If you order 1, you order 10, you get 15% off your entire order. You can find our books on Amazon. I'm okay with you doing that route. You don't get the discount there, and we make more of a profit on our site. So just keep that in mind when you do your shopping. So, anyhow, getting more shows out. Got a lot of things coming up, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun. We're trying to get some things on YouTube and all of that, so it's coming. It's coming, new stuff. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Always appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Subscribe and download back episodes of Cinema Head Cheese the podcast, and read all of our movie reviews and news at cinemaheadcheese.com. Email us at cinemaheadcheese@yahoo.com. Search Cinema Head Cheese on Facebook and tweet us at CINHeadCheese. And for more podcasts, books, comics, blogs, and videos, head to abnormalentertainment.com.
You've been listening to The Abnormal Entertainment.